US yields did decline to 1.6% and Asian markets have opened weak. We're also seeing the oil prices retreating from the earlier highs that we have seen in the recent weeks. In terms of the US benchmark indices, well, the Dow Jones did fall close to around 300 points as investors unwinded the rotation trade. The companies that would benefit from an end to the lockdown did face the worst amid concerns that rising virus cases and new restrictions in Germany signal that the global recovery is likely to be delayed. US bond yields held a decline. It closed at 1.62% after sliding for a second day, as Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell played down the inflation risk. A solid two-year Treasury auction also helped allay concerns that poor appetite for this week's sales could propel yields higher again. Dow Jones was down 0.9% to close at 32,423, while the Nasdaq was down close to around 1.1% to close at 13,228. S&P closed down 0.7% at 3911. European stocks eased from a one-year peak on Tuesday as a new wave of coronavirus infection as well as a fresh lockdown in Germany raised fears of a slow economic recovery from the pandemic. The Pan-European Stock 600 index did fall close to around 0.2% as a new round of sanctions aimed at China hit the Asian markets. Germany's DAX was flat amidst the Chancellor Angela Merkel decided to extend the lockdown until April 18. Swedish truck maker Volvo slumped 7% after it warned of a shortage of semiconductors would have a substantial impact in terms of the production in the second quarter. FTSE and CAC were down nearly around 0.4% each and DAX was flat. In terms of the Asian markets, well, the Asian markets opened mostly weak after setbacks with the recovery from the pandemic weighed on the US equities and oil, and that has driven down the overall Asian markets. The rate on New Zealand's 10-year note slumped 15 bips as the government's move to curb housing market speculation saw traders pull out positions for early rate hikes. The Nikkei index was down close to around 0.9%, while Topix was down nearly around 1% in early morning trade. Australian markets were trading positive by nearly around 0.4%. Oil, however, did fall significantly. Brent crude prices fell 6.5% to close at $60.37 per barrel on Tuesday on concerns that the new pandemic curbs slow vaccine rollouts in Europe will slow down a recovery in terms of the fuel demand, and as producers cut prices, including thus suggesting that there would be ample oil supply. WTI US crude futures were trading flat at nearly around $57.7 a barrel in the early morning trade. Gold was down 0.7% to close at $1,728 an ounce. Gold continues to face selling pressure. Gold futures traded flat at $1,726 an ounce in early morning trade.